All right.
Hey, welcome in, everybody.
Gardening Inside Out, a live show offering you plant advice for any space in your life. Introducing your perennial hosts, David Bates and Josh Carey. There we go.
Hey, welcome in, everybody. It's Saturday morning. It's time for Gardening Inside Out again.
Yeah, we'll try it with audio this time.
It's okay. That was the finest 3 or 4 minutes broadcast history. So
absolutely.
You should have heard us.
And to recap
Caroline
briefly,
cussing over there. And
we have weather in our future. When is that not the case? But what we have is, well, rain, and perhaps as much as 3 inches over the coming week. 0.4 of an inch today, about that tomorrow, about that Monday, maybe 3/4 on Tuesday, maybe an inch on Wednesday, maybe 1/3 of an inch on Thursday. All told, if we get all that, maybe somewhere around 3 inches. So
that's a lot of rain.
That's quite a bit of rain. Not unusual for the month of May. You know, April gets a lot of billing about showers.
Nah.
May is really when we seem to get it here in the Middle Tennessee area. So this week is indicative of that. Temperatures in the 80s throughout until you get into next weekend, perhaps back down into the 70s. We'll see. You know, forecasts that far out, or there's a degree of speculation involved in weather modeling based on historical evidence. So we go to the radar here, and we will see. Got off the map just as soon as I switched to it, didn't you there? If you can see behind the hydrangea there is some frontal clouds in the way. Of leaves in the way of the frontal clouds. But most of the rain for Middle Tennessee is to the east, more southerly. And there's a little bit back there. So there's going to be some showers around, but it's not going to be.
Doesn't look like the Braves are playing today.
Well, yes. We'll go with that then.
Can't see them anyway.
And right now we're looking at the Bates Nursery weather station, 67 degrees here, and currently no rain this morning. We've had about 1.48 for the week. We're up to about 18.5 for the year. So there we are. Gardening Inside Out, our second attempt at starting this morning. And that's how we do it. You know, if you don't succeed, we do have some new cameras and new equipment today. There's a level of preoccupation that exists whenever you're
and a special event coming up here in a few minutes.
A special event coming up in a few minutes. We've got a call from Greece.
Greece?
Yes, Greece is the word. So that's coming in here in just a minute. Let's talk about who we have on the show with us here, Josh.
Okay.
Caroline Gant, Austin Lowen, welcome in, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to have you here. And, of course, Tyler Blankenship. Making it all happen today.
Tyler can.
Tyler.
And,
Good morning.
He's making the audio decisions for the programs.
The audio forced my decision to plug it in.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a little thing. So, anyway, we're glad to have everyone in. And so what's on your mind, guys? I can't actually see you because of this hydrangea.
Because it's just so beautiful.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah, we went a little tall with the hydrangea. Sorry, but it just had to be in here.
And I'm going to let you guys guess who did the green room this go around.
Awesome.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Boxwood, petunia, roses, one hydrangea.
Yes. Speaking of roses, this is like the week to come out and see and smell the roses, y'all.
Yes,
we got
is.
the roses in like a week and a half ago. But this week is the week where you get to see the actual color. You get to smell the actual smell. You get to see and count the petal count.
You don't have to speculate.
No,
you don't.
You get to choose, and this is the time to see them.
It's like a sea of roses out there.
It really is.
So much color.
And if you're thinking ahead just a little bit of the curve, you know, Mother's Day is, just around the corner. If you're thinking about a gift, you don't know quite what to gift, and you want the best selection, now's a really good time to be taking advantage of that because,
They got
as you
stuff.
say,
Man,
getting to see that color, getting to smell the fragrance that might be associated with it, you only get that opportunity.
Maybe Mama
when
wants a tomato plant.
Maybe.
Or a houseplant.
Or a houseplant.
Yeah.
And Mama loves a good 12, dozen roses in a vase, but at the same time, she only gets to enjoy that for a week or two. Get her a
living
rose
one.
that's in a pot with roots.
Absolutely.
She might be able to love it for years.
That's right.
Do it.
Hopefully.
But you have to plan it for her. If you buy her a rose plant, you have to. That's part of the deal on
That
Mommy's
is true.
Day.
You're right. That's true. I always get all the moms in my life plant gifts every year.
Yes,
It's one of my favorite times, actually.
absolutely.
It's a good time. It's a great holiday. But come out and see us. Get some stuff for Mother's Day. Or just look at the flowers and the roses.
Well, a lot of people do find a lot of therapeutic value in just coming out and walking around and taking it all in, and we certainly encourage you to do that. And we really get to see a plethora of folks this time of year, and it's kind of almost for me in a way somewhat of a reunion type. I don't get to see everybody that comes in because I'm not right up here at the front all the time, but I always enjoy getting to visit for a few minutes with all the familiar faces. So certainly invite you to come on out and say hello.
It's worth the drive.
I
It's
think
worth it, folks. I'm telling you.
we've heard that it is, and we try to make that be something that people don't have to question. They know they're going to see things here from a horticultural standpoint, in particular, that they won't see elsewhere. There may be other areas where that also pertains.
I think we got unusual
with respect
stuff.
to horticulture.
You know,
Wow.
so earlier this week, I can't remember what day it was. Maybe it was Tuesday. I walked out and Austin, Owen, and maybe Steve were wrapping this blue spruce like a Dr. Seuss character. And where was it going?
Back to Michigan.
Back
Wow.
to Michigan.
They made the drive from Michigan, people. Like, seriously, they saw on our website, on our inventory, that we had some good-looking blue spruce. And we do. They look real nice right now. But they had to get it all the way back to Michigan in a pickup truck. So
Wow,
we had to
that's
do
bold.
some wrapping.
That is very bold.
They brought burlap, which was nice, like a roll of burlap, and I tied it up first real tight with Owen and Steve's help for sure. And then we wrapped burlap around the whole thing and then re-tied it up. It looked like they had bodies in the bed of their truck. They're all wrapped up tight, but no, they were blue spruce going
They
back
were plants.
north, baby.
So how many did they?
They bought two, one real big one and then one medium-sized one.
Wow.
Wow.
But man, they were specimens. They looked nice. They were very happy to get them back to Michigan.
Well, and that's another nice indication that what we say is true about it being worth the drive from anywhere. So we appreciate them being actually willing to go to any length. That's not a small distance to drive to pick up a couple of plants. Really surprised that those weren't available in
That's
yeah,
what we
you
all
see them
said.
everywhere in Michigan.
they might have been looking for an excuse to honky tonk in Nashville.
They
Yeah.
were going
They did do that.
Yeah, they were going to
They
Morgan
told me.
Wall,
They were on Broadway the night before.
Best they
You
remember.
got to.
Yep.
Margaret says the video looks great, Tyler, by the way.
Oh, good.
Yep.
That's what you want to hear.
We're so clear.
Tyler was playing with the cameras yesterday, and he was just like a little kid in a candy shop. He was just playing, putting different
Testing 'em
angles,
out.
testing, zooming. It was fun to watch. Well, his cameras look fancy.
Got a show to
They're
program.
very fancy.
Actually, one camera down currently. We don't have our wide shot because it's still updating the firmware. So, and as luck would have it, that showed up right before we went on the air, which distracted Tyler enough to forget that we needed to have audio also.
That's
So,
okay.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Those are
Yeah.
the kinds of things. Hey, we've got a good friend, Jim Stevens,
Yes.
the former producer back in the radio days that when Josh and I broadcasted together. He is the world traveler.
Yes, he is. He's the roving reporter.
He's going to be checking in from Greece here just in a few minutes. So do you want to get to any questions before we invariably go to Jim and talk about what he's got going on?
Yeah, we can
should.
start some. The first one, we've talked a little bit about the nursery here, but somebody asked, do you have more vegetable starts coming? Yes. We are full. We've got more coming. I don't know when they're going to stop. So come on out, see what we've got.
I think
grab
it's
them off the
safe.
shelf.
I think it's safe to say we are at our peak of what we will have vegetable plant wise, and they become increasingly less available from this point forward. Now, that doesn't mean we have a
don't
limited
have
selection. We have a huge selection.
The overflow area is still
full.
flowing.
We're as great a job as Jane and all of the crew in the greenhouse do. You can't get more things in the greenhouse.
Can't put 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag.
It's very difficult. So it gives us some area to restock from. So yeah, you can come out and shop with confidence, knowing that we've got a tremendous selection, and there's
You want a color? They got them all.
Yeah.
We got everything. Well, maybe not everything, but we got a lot.
We pretty much do. And hey, y'all, it's May. Like, time to get them veggies out.
I saw some
It's
really
time.
pretty white.
There is no
salt and
ambiguity
pepper
anymore.
petunias last week. The gorgeous.
No, speaking of petunias, here's one that you'll find interesting in Austin. I forgot to send you the link that there are some bioluminescent petunias on the
Yes.
horizon.
I've seen this.
Isn't
I've seen
that-
this.
So I don't know they'll be out until probably next year before they're generally available. But looking forward to seeing that where they actually light up
teeth.
at night.
They have teeth. I bet.
That
No
I
teeth
hope
yet.
not.
terrifying, Josh.
The blooms on them glow in the dark.
Yes. This is real. I've seen this actually when I was in college. I saw that in Japan, they decided to do this same thing to tobacco plants for some reason. And they showed a picture of it, and the tobacco was glowing at night.
So you don't have to fumble for your cigarettes in
That's
the
right.
dark. You can just find them right there.
It was crazy, but that was years ago. So now the petunia, they're doing it with petunias. Oh, you know, I'm going to be the first to get
petunias.
them.
Your whole bed's going to glow in the dark. Hey, let's stay on the vegetable topic.
Okay.
Fun crop to plant once the lettuce taps out. It's in the same bed. What's fun, y'all?
What's fun? God,
Carrots?
what's fun? Carrots.
Carrots are a good
Radishes.
time. Yeah,
Carrots
radishes
are a
are
good
fun.
They're spicy.
Yeah, though,
yeah.
you know, the reputation for carrots is well founded. I mean, they do get around
They
in the
do.
vegetable
They
world.
do.
Yeah, and I think we talked about this last week on our podcast a little bit about carrots and how our soils around here aren't like super, soft. Okay, so a lot of times the clay and rocks or whatever will make a carrot do a funny thing.
Oh, they grow like crazy. I always do mine in raised beds because they do better. But yeah, they look like little people sometimes. when you pull them
Sometimes,
out.
yeah.
Tyler was talking about how he's scared of them.
Are they going to glow in the dark too?
Oh, maybe one day. Spooky carrots. So carrots, that's going to be the fun thing. Fun and
You
exciting
know what?
thing.
Why not? Carrots are fun. When you jerk one out of the earth and you get a carrot, it's like, this is cool.
You don't know what it's going to look like.
You don't. You never
Yeah,
know.
you
Like I said,
never
it can
know.
hit a rock and then make a weird fork, another weird fork, and
They
then you've
could
got
have
a...
arms
it's
and
got
legs
legs.
on them. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then it's alive. All right, tomato looks droopy, has been repotted and watered. It was very thick, so I trimmed the leaves.
Okay.
What's going to make that tomato droop?
Well, typically it's an underwater scenario if a tomato's wilting, but you said you watered it, so it should perk back up, you would think. I mean, most tomatoes, if they wilt, you can water them and they literally perk back in 20,
Seems
30
a
minutes.
little early for a cutworm to be an issue, doesn't it?
Yeah, you would think. I mean, in that case, it wilts and then dies very quickly, like with a cutworm. They straight
Right.
up cut it.
Right.
So hopefully it's not that, but hopefully it perks up for you, okay? You watered it. Just settle in. You pruned
settle
off a little
in.
bit. It should reshoot. Should be all right.
Yep.
My vegetable bed is popping off. I sent you guys some pictures last night. I already have some squash coming in.
Saw that. It was early for squash, but hey.
I planted early this year. I planted way earlier than ever before.
I would say squash plants are the most underestimated size-wise garden plants that there are because
yes.
you plant it, it looks so innocent. Go, well, yeah, I can put 3 of these in here. You don't have
Yeah.
room for one. I mean, by the time August rolls around, it has taken over the entire garden.
Yes.
They are
But
a
it's the
force
best.
of
And you're
nature.
so sick of squash that you're just not going to eat anymore. You're
I'll
giving
never
it,
be sick of squash.
It's really a
We'll come back around to that in 1 month.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's all the vegetable questions we got this morning, surprisingly, unless any come in live.
All right.
So do we want to go on to our next segment?
well,
There's Austin.
I don't know if
There I am.
There we are.
Yeah.
Everybody sit here with an
Let's
uncomfortable question.
let's get one more question in.
When we
Okay.
do this before we go to the next question, let's just go ahead and jump into cicadas.
Cicadas.
Oh, yeah.
People are beginning to see them. I got some photographs in yesterday, and they are emerging. It's not the end of life as we know it. So, don't.
the amount of rain we're going to get next week, they're all going to be nice and clean.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
think about it.
And
they'll
shiny?
They'll be able to make a smooth, effortless emergence out of the soil because it'll be nice and friable. Won't be hard.
Nature's aeration.
And, we get to hear them sing their song for the next weeks. So anyway,
How long do you think it'll last? Just a few weeks? That's my question.
I would say till, early June is not unexpected. If they emerge, maybe they won't quite go that long. But
Okay.
I believe we have Jim with us now, by the way.
All right, Josh, go ahead.
All right.
Come in here.
Jimbo, where are you today, my friend? Jim?
I am in a place called Skiathos, Greece. It's a small island in the Aegean Sea.
Small island. They're all small.
There he is.
You know that
Yeah.
Crete.
He surprisingly wore his kilt, and he's in the
Yep.
he's in the Irish countryside. But we've got, you can't see because you're not, unless you're watching the show.
Jim has
but
called us from
everywhere.
Everywhere. I mean, Australia. We've had a call
Chernobyl.
from Chernobyl. We had south of let's see, Ireland, of course, or Scotland. I can't remember which
Indonesia.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's few
Yeah.
places you have not been, but we're looking forward to hearing about where you are today. So what has been the great thing that you have enjoyed most about Greece? Because that's a place I have not been.
It's not the weather, that's for sure. It's cold and rainy today. I was really surprised by the weather. I'm not prepared for the cold.
Well, I did get the video you sent me this morning of the airport that's right at sea level. I mean, it might be 6 feet above, maybe.
Wow.
Not even that.
Yeah, I mean, it came right over his head. The winds were favorable, and they're landing on that runway. And it's a nice shot, Jim. That was good work. I know you were going, hey, now I can say I've done it.
This is considered. There's another airport like this over in the Western Hemisphere. It's St. Martin.
Right. I've been
where
there.
the airplanes come in really low. Yeah. This is considered the European version of St. Martin.
Okay. Jim knows a little bit about airplanes. So
Yeah, he worked in the industry for a minute. What was that, like a couple of decades?
Oh yeah,
He's
easily.
still in it.
Yeah. So, as a matter of fact, I am still there working with this time around it's a private jet company. So, but it's a wonderful island. The people here are fantastic. I would encourage anyone, if you have a chance to come over and spend some time here. The people are very welcoming. From David's perspective, I mean, the fauna here is really something to behold. I mean, there's a variety of different types of plants here. That surprised me as well.
What about the animals, though?
Mostly just domesticated. There's some chickens and roosters, and I heard a donkey a couple days ago. I don't know where that's at.
There's always
Josh.
There's an ass in every crowd,
Yes.
and that's Greece is not the exception.
But they are very friendly people, and they're very good looking too. Yes, sir.
Josh, did you get a chance to see that picture of the solar powered water heater?
No, I did not. They're on. I don't have that.
No, hopefully it's in there somewhere. But it's
those are
virtually every house here has one.
Yeah, in Mediterranean climates such as Greece and Italy and maybe Mexico, those are
very common.
They're very common, and they're very economical. They work great. They cost nothing to operate.
And they still use windmills. I mean, it's a beautiful part of the world. We were fortunate enough to go to Mykonos and to Santorini a few years ago, and but you're right about the flora that are there. Are the bougainvillea popping? The big bright and orange and red ones hanging from the top?
I imagine he's unclear on what the bougainvillea are.
Okay.
Maybe not.
Viney.
I mean, he lives. I mean, in his defense, he lives in Cleveland, Ohio. So there's not a lot of bougainvillea in Cleveland, Ohio. That's just the way that is.
But it's the big striking ones that are usually
I don't think there's much in the way it's transferable to. If I go to a nursery in Ohio and ask for any of this stuff, they'll just kind of look at me like I'm out of my mind.
They take you to the tropical section inside, perhaps.
Well, what's really cool is if you ever get out of the airline industry, you know that you can go and sell white and blue paint over there, and everybody makes a living. So I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
The official colors.
The other thing is it's the Greek Orthodox Easter here. So last night was their Good Friday, and we were lucky enough to be able to watch. It's called the Epitaph procession. It's in honor of Christ's march to his crucifixion. They have a big parade where they have a thing that's all dialed up, they carry around, and people are praying to it and all that. It's just very interesting, a very interesting procession.
Well, very good. Jim, it's always great to hear your reports. We appreciate you taking the time from your your research trip
Yes.
to the Greek islands and Greece in general, and for calling in today. So when do you have plans for your next outing as yet, or are you still working on that?
Amazingly enough, I come back to the States on Wednesday, and I turn right around and I go back out to the United Kingdom the next day.
Oh.
So
there you
Life's
go.
tough.
It's world. I was in Rome Rome from Sunday until Wednesday of this week. So
Okay. Wow.
Well, you know what you do when you're in Rome. As the Romans do.
yeah.
That's what you do. So I'm sure you did not disappoint, Jim. So great to hear from you, my friend. We look forward to hearing from you again soon.
Hi, buddy.
will do. Talk to you later.
right.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Yeah, he is
Jim Stevens.
Yeah, Jim is responsible for more safety cautions than any other single human being on the old program.
Absolutely.
He shut down South Houston plumbing with a backhoe one time. So,
He's one of those guys that's
Chainsaws,
not afraid to test the boundaries of
safety.
yes
PPE. Yes.
He did indeed cut the power off to his entire neighborhood.
It was a great house too.
yeah.
I actually saw that one. So
He now knows where all of the underground
Call before you
utilities
dig,
are. Hey, let's talk for a moment about a product that helps you to make the most out of your gardening efforts. And of course, I'm talking about Earth Mix garden products. And no matter what you're trying to grow, if it's fruit trees or if it's ornamental grasses, perennials, annual plants, tropicals, in the container, in the ground, doesn't matter. If you're looking for a 100% organic approach to it, if you want it to get the absolute optimal amount of growth and fertility without using chemical additives, Earth Mix is your brand. No peat whatsoever in any of the Earth Mix garden products. It's all coconut core where the peat would have been used otherwise. Therefore, you get no fungus gnats in the home, and that makes for a much more pleasant indoor gardening experience. No matter what you're looking to try to grow, there is an Earth Mix products for you. If you're looking to revitalize an area that you have gardened in the past, Earth Mix Supernatural is a great choice for you because it has all the best things that you want to be able to incorporate into your soil blend. Endo and ecto mycorrhiza, fungi, humic acid, all the various things that are going to really re-energize your soil without having to put any chemical fertilizer on there. So check that out. Look for that in a garden center near you. And if you can find those out by going to the Find Earth Mix tab, go to earthmix.net, click on Find Earth Mix, and then a map will pop up there, and you'll see all these locations kind of on the east side of the map, and there's one way over there. Make sure you say hello to our good friends over at Victory Gardens Nursery out in Meridian, Idaho. That's a little suburb of Boise, by the way. Check them out. We're really grateful to have them, as our entire network of folks in, by the way, Millstone Nursery yesterday. They got another full semi-load. I think that's the second one this year. So out in Germantown. So thank you to those great folks. Just remember this: success in gardening begins at the ground level. When you use Earth Mix garden products, and you're going to find the same quality and the same success no matter where you get that product from. So check it out at earthmix.net.
Yep.
So thank you for giving us a moment to talk about that.
If your local independent garden center doesn't have it, they can get.
There's a dealer inquiry
inquire.
link on the top right corner of the website there. So if you're interested, check it out.
Hey, and speaking of Millstone out in Memphis, we met the owner of Millstone the other day. She came out to Bates to come shop around.
Her husband were here. The
I'm
owners.
so sorry that I missed them. No, they're wonderful folks.
They are. It was great meeting them. It was almost like meeting a celebrity because I watch all of her stuff on social media.
She does a lot.
She does a great. Her mixed containers are stunning.
If you don't follow Millstone, follow them. It's worth following just to see her mixed containers and all the stuff she puts together. Her aesthetic is really, really nice.
It is.
Very gorgeous. So shout out to Millstone. And also shout out to what is happening.
What's in bloom?
So perfect.
With Austin.
Things are blooming, y'all. Just look around. You're going to see a flower, okay? Tyler, throw up that first one. Throw up the first one.
Now.
Tyler.
Hey!
Oh.
Look, that's my house. That's creeping time.
Look at your house.
Y'all, I put 5 of those out, and they're cute,
That's
y'all.
adorable.
The little ground cover creeping time. And look, there's hardly any weeds in the middle of that, and I did not weed it before the picture. I just wanted to show you. It is like dark below it, so no weeds are popping up through that creeping time. It just...
And you can
is
eat it.
Beautiful. You can eat it if you want. Hey, it's the perennial time of year, y'all. Salvia. Poppies. Caroline sent a picture of her poppy last night. My God. Tyler, we're not ready for that yet. Okay. Dianthus is still going as a ground cover. My Shasta daisies, the white ones, just popped up the other day. They're looking nice. Yarrow in Tyler's yard. You sent a picture last night. Your yarrow's beautiful, Tyler. Good work. Catmint going on. I hear some weird noise. Iris is still going. Daylilies just popped. Just saw it this morning. First one just popped. Amsonia is still going. Great plant. Shout out Bridge. She loves it.
Yes.
Peonies, y'all. Your peonies. They are blooming, and I bet you they're flopping a little bit.
They are.
Yes, they
All
were
right.
last night, but
It
mine
got a little
popped
rainy.
this morning.
Yep.
They popped out this today.
And they
Oh.
did. Peonies are great. Even when they're laying on the ground, you know what? They're still great.
We got
okay?
accused of swooning over peonies last week, by the way. So we didn't swoon.
You know, we're not above that.
I will always
By
swoon over
whom?
them. Always.
Hey,
Ain't no shame
a
in that.
valued listener and viewer. So
Okay, nice. So, getting to the shrubs. Hey, your roses, y'all. If you're the first flush roses, there's nothing better. I mean, it's the best one. So enjoy it because it's not going to stay like forever. They're roses. Okay, hollies are still going. You know what I forgot last week? I'm not going to forget this week because they're everywhere. Blackberries, good
Yes.
Lord.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere in the woods. Raspberries are going off too, okay? I wrote roses again. That's funny. Rose is still going. Rhododendron, y'all, still. I mean, azaleas are still going, but they're like not great. They're kind of on their way out. Rhododendrons are at peak right now, at absolute peak, looking great. Weigela and Deutzia, 2 underused shrubs that are old school, still going at it. Our vines are still happening. Clematis is gorgeous right now. Crossvine's okay. Honeysuckle is going this week.
That one.
Honeysuckle all in the woods. Y'all see it. It's doing its thing. Wisteria is still going, Josh.
Yes.
You're welcome. And Coosa dogwoods just happened this week, y'all. Coosa dogwood, green with white. They're
Love 'em.
so
Yes.
good. Smoke tree, Josh. You talked about that a couple weeks ago. It wasn't blooming yet. It is now.
Oh, I
It
saw
is
one
in
the other
bloom.
day that was stunning.
And then Tyler, last one. Actually, no, wait. The bad ones. Privet and Primrose. Privet just happened.
yeah.
It is nasty. Nasty, nasty. A little annual that I find really cute that's popping up. Bachelor button.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you ain't growing
Those are
bachelor
cute.
button, that is cute.
They're very
And then
cute.
Tyler throwing up the last pick of the day. Once again in my house, Chinese fringe tree.
Wow.
Hey.
You sang that. You're so excited.
Gosh, look at it though. Just frilly white blooms. Fantastic. That is what's in bloom.
That's gorgeous. Hey, you know, you kind of bad-mouthed Crossvine in a way.
I thought he did too.
So I just wanted
you
to
know?
bring up
What is that all
It's
about?
because he's a little
What-
bit jealous.
What
because
has Crossvine ever done to you?
Never did
jealous.
anything.
I'm not
Hey,
jealous.
There was a viewer that was here just the other day. You
I remember.
A cart full of Crossvine, and he said, "I'm buying this because of Caroline." And then Austin said, "No clematis," and he said, "No."
He did. He said it just like that too. And I'm like, you don't even know what you're missing.
He had
bud.
4 Monrovia Crossvines. That looked beautiful on that cart.
Yeah, and I'm like, take home that orange
Stop
that's
it.
like
zip,
not pretty. Mm-hmm.
zip that mouth right now. Zip
You
it.
should next week. Y'all are getting to pick on my clematis. Get ready.
yes.
All right.
Crossvine.
Well, let's get to some more questions because we do have an abundance. So, switching back around to our vegetable talk, Colin chimed in on Facebook and says, I was able to fit 2 zucchini pretty close to each other as far as zucchini goes by training them up some bamboo poles. Great idea. I let mine kind of trail out of my raised bed, so I plant them on the side and they'll go out a little bit, just to give more space to all of those plants. And then Joan on Facebook said, I went a little crazy pruning my Jane Magnolia. It's 14 years old and about 14 foot tall. There were a lot of limbs crossing, so I cut them out. Also, many smaller shoots I cut out. It's very open now. Please tell me I didn't do more harm than good.
You did great. I'm proud of you.
That
you did it
sounds
after it
exactly
bloomed.
like how you would tell them to do it.
Exactly. You did it after it bloomed like you're supposed to. You took crossing limbs or dead or dying or tiny or not, productive. You did exactly what you were supposed to do. Great work. You opened it up. Airflow, light. You're going to get nice leaves. You're going to get a great flower show next year.
We here at Gardening Inside Out are very proud of you. You did it right. All right, every year my peony has 1 round of blooms, but all the follow-up buds die before blooming. I mean, mine bloom, and they've got these tiny little buds that never open. It's like they sent all their energy to some blooms that they choose or chose. Choose and chose.
Yeah, it does seem to be like that. It's like the big prominent buds will flower, and then those little ones just never really finish, and it's not unnormal. That does happen.
Unnormal.
Yeah, that's
We're not good with
That
words
is
this
unnormal.
morning.
Or abnormal.
abnormal. That's it, David.
Abnormal.
Thank you, sir.
I was here for it. I was totally here for it.
Unnormal.
I contend that plants have X amount of energy.
Yes.
And they expend that energy in the best way that they can manifest their various attributes. So if there's a lot of buds, it may be just like Austin was referring to, that the biggest and the best get that most energy, and maybe there's some lesser buds that just they go, we've already put our best effort out there. Let's don't.
Let's not send it somewhere
Nah,
else.
that's right.
Would some
What
bloom
about
booster
this?
help?
Got 4 Incrediballs planted at the same time in the same conditions, but one is incredibly smaller than the others.
Great question.
Great.
All
And
the
also
words are great
wordplay,
today.
fantastic.
We're all killing it. So something's different, and this happens a lot. We see this all the time. Everybody will tell me, I planted them the same way. I put them all like kind of in the same spot.
And we don't
but
doubt it.
yet one is, we don't. I believe you. But one is not doing as good as the other ones. Well, there's something going on down below in the bottom, in the hole typically. So it may not have the nutrient that the other ones have. It's not getting as big. It's kind of part of gardening, y'all. Like things do happen like that. We're no different. We plant stuff, and there may be one that just looks a little smaller or not as good as the other one. It's part of it. Maybe you can fertilize. Come out here. Let's get a fertilizer for you. Let's see if we can't boost that Incrediball to where it's Incrediballing for you.
I had one die.
Incrediballing out. There you go.
Incrediballing out. Hey, that was pretty good. Tyler, are we ready to put up some more photos? If not,
Sure.
we can continue on with questions.
Well, maybe we could segue into what Austin did with his boxwoods.
I did something.
oh, he did.
I'm
do
ready to
something.
talk about it now. I've not been telling y'all something because I've been embarrassed.
He's been holding out.
I've been
Oh,
holding
just
out.
you wait.
So let's try to start. Okay. I replanted my Justin Brower's boxwoods. Y'all know this. We got back down to 0 and negatives around my place. Tyler, put it back up. I'm embarrassed, but still put it back up. They look awful. Okay. This was last Monday. So there was 11 planted. 7 of them still had green in them. Okay. They did. 4 of them dead. Jerked them up, threw them in the woods. Mad.
So mad at
So
them.
mad. The rest of them,
How far did you throw him?
very far, David, like 50 feet, like
far
over
as
them
you
mountains.
Over yourself?
Right over the mountains.
Right over the mountains. All right, Tyler, go back to the next pick. Let's go to the next one. That's how bad they look. But look, y'all, 7 of them were still alive and green. So what did I do? I jerked them up out of the ground. That's a French tree,
No,
Tyler.
it's still a French
No,
tree.
that's the end, Tyler. My
What
God.
happened?
Oh,
Sorry.
Tyler.
It was.
That,
Oh,
okay.
what is-
So that is what I brought up. That was what is still green. So that you see I flattened that side, okay? Had to cut all the dead out. Whatever. Had another one. Tyler, next pick.
Next pick.
If we
Next pick.
there, okay. So I got another one, cut it out, put them together, and then you got a nice looking boxwood. Okay.
Right.
What did I do? I did that 5 more times. Tyler, next picture. That is
There
where
it
I
is.
put them in between 2 perennial hibiscus, and just like y'all, stuff happens. And 1 perennial hibiscus in the middle of I had 3. One of them died 2 years ago, so I've been having this empty spot right there. I married all 7 of these boxwoods together,
Wow.
and then Tyler finished pick.
Sorry.
There.
There
That's
they are.
7 boxwoods all in the same hole. Justin Brower's. That's what I did.
And they can all
what do you
be
think?
they can all be there to comfort one another.
That's what I'm thinking.
And-
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Man,
7 boxwoods, same hole.
You have had a tough go with
beautiful.
boxwood. I mean,
You
this-
ain't lying.
Now,
This
everybody know that I took home a new dappled willow last week after the
Yes.
show because I'm kind of running out of my budget for this spring, according to the missus. But I had air propagated another one because for some odd reason, on either end of this particular row where I have my dappled willows, I took an air prop that I had got from one and put them together with the other one. And hey, folks, it works. If you do this like Austin just showed, I mean, you end up with something that looks really cool.
I know.
And
I
that
was
air
proud
prop-
of it.
Yeah,
You
that's-
should be proud. I mean, I know you were upset.
I was very upset at
Okay.
first, but then I was so proud of it at the end.
Well, that's a
should be.
therapeutic way to deal with it. That helps you to get beyond the moment because it's frustrating.
Yes.
You ain't lying. Very frustrating. So we'll see. But
it wasn't that hard to do either, was it?
it wasn't
No.
that bad. I mean, it was
Looks
fine.
kind of fun too. You backed
Yep.
your truck up. You made a day of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
it
did.
was. I did make a day of it. Then I planted tunias out in front of it.
Well, now there's a shock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Tunias, misty lilac tunias. What? Oh my gosh. Let's get a couple more questions. And how do you keep ornamental grass from spreading?
You don't.
You don't. I mean, it.
Or you buy a real clean one that doesn't really spread.
Yeah, I mean, you can, if you're really worried about like maybe seed production or something, like cut off the seed heads whenever they go to seed, then they won't be able to spread at all. But most ornamental grasses don't really spread. Like
My northwind switchgrass, it gets a little bit bigger every year,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
it stays contained.
yeah, I mean they clump. There's some old school grasses out there that are pretty nasty and can make some big old rings. What's that one, David? That real big one? We talked about it last year. It's that old school one that gets huge.
The pompous one?
Oh, I know the one. The one that's Josh sent a picture to the group thread. I think that's the one
Yeah,
you're
it was like
talking
that
about.
variegated, real big one.
Oh, yeah.
David, I don't remember.
We don't
but
sell it anymore.
We don't sell it,
Yeah,
but
variegated maiden grass or something like that. It was.
it was one of them big ones. I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, for the most part, grasses don't really like spread and like take over or anything. But
Well, the good thing about the grasses are, and we'll give credit where it's due, this is the Bridget influence, is that we've gotten a lot more excellent native type cultivars into our selection, and those are all decidedly non-invasive. They really clump nicely. As Caroline was alluding to, they'll get thicker and grow bigger. So if you want to dig one up and divide it, you can do that. But
Right.
they don't send out runners and shoots that make them invasive and run into areas you don't want them to
Right,
be.
and folks, the one that I sent the picture of, you really wouldn't think of it as a grass, but it is. But I mean, I picture this as being started as a number 2 or a number 5, planted right in the middle of the yard. This, what I'm talking about, was about 15 feet across, and they get huge, massive tall.
Well, I've seen. I was in Brentwood last night and around some commercial landscape areas where the landscape is dominated
Yes.
by switch grasses and other grasses that are really coming along and looking nice. So that's a very encouraging sign,
Yes.
because so often for decades, the commercial landscapes they've just kind of been dominated by things that are going to overgrow the area, and the grasses will really stay put and stay within the confines for a long, long time. And that's something that you got to work at too hard.
All right, what is a good shade shrub? I like Japanese plum yew.
yeah,
That's
you
my
always love the
go-to.
plum yew.
I know, and I will always love it.
Akuba comes to mind. There's some azaleas that are nice in some part shade environments. Your hydrangeas. I mean, the garden hydrangeas, the macrophyllus, the arborescens, which is the incredible types, or the annabelles, totally fine in shade. Kind of depends if you want evergreen, if you want flowering. But my God, there's a lot of options for shade shrubs around here.
Yep.
Yeah, my
Where
witch
do you
hazel
find them?
does fine. It's not in full shade, but it's shaded most of the day. Gorgeous.
Golden Japanese forest grass,
Oh.
whenever it's available, the Hakanakloa is another really
Okay.
another great choice. Pieris japonica, if you're really wanting to feel adventuresome, it's a tough plant to grow. I'm gonna kid you on that one.
It's worth it when it latches in.
Oh yes,
But where do you find Pierre's, David? I mean,
well,
who has it?
if you were driving around anywhere, even if you were coming from Michigan in pursuit of a
Memphis.
blue spruce, you could get a. Now, I'm not going to say a Pieris japonica is going to live in Michigan.
No.
It won't. But obviously, if you're shopping from Michigan or wherever, you can come to Bates Nursery and Garden Center, and you can find out all about this incredible range of plants. You know, we're very fortunate to be geographically located where we are. We're in the very central part, the very middle, bullseye
Belt buckle.
of the transition zone between
Yes.
north and south.
Yes, we
so
are.
we get all of the great conifers and deciduous plants from the northern climes. We also get most of the broadleaf things that come from the more southern climes. And when you put that all together, that means that Bates Nursery and Garden Center has a selection of plants that is second to none anywhere. When you make a drive from Michigan, I think that just says it all.
Yeah.
So come out and see us. Check out our website. The folks from Michigan certainly came out and checked it out. And you can search everything we have online. It is updated daily for local folks. Those in the Metro Nashville area, you can actually shop online and arrange for delivery or pickup right there on the website, batesnursery.com. Also have a lot of information on there. There you see my grandmother, the founder, 92 years ago. My grandmother started that. You can also go over to the blog page, and that's where you'll see articles like this week's, and it's a triskaidekaphobic approach to entomophobia and other easy to understand concepts. My article this week is actually, I had a couple people say, you know what, I almost didn't read it because the title was a little confusing, but go read it or just go to the website, batesnursery.com. And if you want to subscribe, as over 32,000 other people have done, which is still remarkable to me. You can do so right there. Just scroll right down from the top page. Name, email address, check the box that says I want to receive it, and then hit the subscribe button, and you'll receive it into your inbox once a week. Now, you'll get an initial email that says you have signed up. And after that, it's just once a week. And if you decide you want off, all you got to do is unsubscribe. So it's very easy. We don't share your data with anyone. And I would tell you, as a guy who values privacy,
boy, doesn't he?
I mean, we don't share it with anyone. So
it's a quick read, and it's always worth your time.
350 words every week, exactly.
That's amazing. Hey,
you can count them.
We got a shout out to your newsletter just now on Facebook. Jones says, shout out to David's email this week. Fun read. Your use of the English language never ceases to amaze me.
You know what? I could use a little Spanish, but it's not nearly as good as my English or as
grammatically.
As George Clooney says, he says, I'm from Kentucky. English is my second language. So I thought that was a good one. So anyway, thank you all for your time and attention. Come see us. We're conveniently located 1 mile north of Briley Parkway at exit 19 on Whites Creek Pike. That's just minutes from Rivergate, Opry Mills, Nashville West, downtown Nashville.
Detroit, it's just a bunch of minutes.
It's just a bunch of minutes. You just put them all together.
Yeah.
You can just minutes from down the road. Yes. And we've had friends drive up from Atlanta, from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, from Huntsville, Alabama, all over the area. Come see us. Bates Nursery and Garden Center, beautifying Nashville since 1932. Thank you for giving us a moment to talk to you about what it is we do here and the vast selection of things you're going to see. You got
For instance, what's in room with Caroline?
Hey, let's talk about this. I don't want to say there's not much to talk about, but it's a simple design. Don't look. I did not mean to insult you. That was not an insult. It's a very simple, beautiful, clean. That's the word I was looking for.
It just escaped you for a few minutes.
That's right. Words are hard this morning, as we've already discussed. So in the corners, we've got some gorgeous tree-form roses. I believe those come from Weeks, Julia Child. Look at that. Yes. Oh, up above me. Keep going,
Julia.
Tyler. There we go. Oh, hands go this way. Right there. Look at that. And then down below, we've got a cute little coral drift rose.
Wow.
On a standard. Look at that. It's just going to weep a little bit. There it is. Oh, that's my head. It's hard
right
to
there.
figure out directions. Yeah. Look at that. And then down in front of the TV, boxwoods. So many boxwoods in front of us, boxwoods in front of the table. We all know Austin loves
boxwoods.
And what else does he love? Petunias. He loves pink and white. Those are his favorite colors that he plants. I mean, they go together so well.
He's not only petunias. Tell him which one of the petunias is the best.
Misty lilac.
Misty lilac. That soft pink. Oh, it's
I'm excited to see.
Good.
I planted 4 that were left over from Austin's. He was like, Caroline, I brought you these.
I'm telling you, those salt and pepper ones are going to be going with that Misty. I mean, you know which ones I'm talking about? I mean, they are gorgeous back there.
He'll go into a piano bar and say, play Misty Lilac for me.
Play Misty for me.
Play Misty. And then on our Lazy Susan, we're already ready to get to her. Look at this. Tough Stuff. Aha.
He's
Gotta
not
say it like
there
that.
we go.
From, it's Proven Winners. It's gorgeous. It's just a little hydrangea. Of course, we had to throw a hydrangea in there. If you know Austin at all.
Look at the petal size.
Yes.
Look at how
Tyler,
pointy
get in there.
they are.
Oh.
It's
They're
so
huge.
cute.
I mean, for a serrata, a mountain hydrangea, like, It's a lace cap style, but those petals are huge.
It's just started opening.
Started. Oh, it's so good. Good
really
choice.
cute. The only thing, what? Oh, I did choose that one.
Yeah,
that's true.
She got that.
That was my one say. And the coral drift roses. Austin was not about it at first. He was like, Caroline, I don't know. I think they look great.
They do. They look great.
Add a pop of neon color.
I mean,
little carnation-like. The only thing we're missing in here, as far as Austin designs go, is what is it?
What?
Come on.
Hydrangea?
We got
hydrangea. You picked that one. What are you talking about?
Switchgrass, duh.
Oh, switchgrass. You're right. I forgot.
It's okay.
She set you up with a softball.
I know. I've just missed it.
And you missed it.
Just whiffed.
Yeah, you did. I don't know what that means, but it must be a sports term. Yeah, never heard that before. But that is what's in room today. Really clean, simple, beautiful design from Austin. Pinks, whites. I threw in a little bit of neon because I had to.
And then the classic yellow rose. I'm a sucker for a yellow rose.
You know, but I found, what's so good about a landscape that could be dominated by a few different species, but a lot of impact, it really makes the accent plants like those roses pop.
Mm-hmm.
They really show up dramatically when you have this consistent show of even foliage or spaces of other alternate colors elsewhere. So, and this also is therapeutic for Austin because it helps him. This is what he's wanting to happen at his house. Nature has not been agreeable with him. So
you've had a tough year.
So everybody give him a virtual hug here. Say we feel your pain, buddy.
Yeah, it's going to be okay. Them tuners are going to come in and I'm going to be great.
You are going to be great. Hey, let's go ahead and get to some listener photos so then we can get to some more questions because we do have quite a bit still coming in. All right, so this first photo comes to us from Patricia. It's a Monstera. Patricia is asking, overwatered or sunburnt? I would say that's overwatering. A lot of time with sunburnt, with Monstera and most plants, it'll be a lighter color and it'll be on the whole leaf or parts of the leaf. This is on the edging, that black. That's going to be a sign that it is staying too wet and too dark.
And that's always a tough one for people to deal with because they look at it because it looks dry. And so it really telegraphs deceivingly if you're not used to seeing that symptom. So you have to do, in that case, the opposite of what your brain tells you to do is let it dry out.
Let it dry out. So what you're going to want to do is pull that plant up, get it out of the pot, knock off the soil, look at the roots. If anything's black, dark brown, their roots should be white or tan. Yes, trim it off. You can sprinkle cinnamon on it. It's going to help stop that rot and then repot it in some fresh soil. Watch your watering. Plant roots need to have some airflow. If you keep them watered, they're going to suffocate, but that is what that is. But there's hope. All right, second photo, Tyler.
Boom.
Oh, this comes from Shirley.
Shirley, my girl.
One of Austin's gals. Look at these foxgloves.
I saw those before they were in bloom. Shirley, I came to your house to look at some stuff. She's my British friend that comes out and shops with us.
Hello, Austin.
It's great to see. She grows English oaks. She's got hawthorns in the back. She's got a giant pieris. She is a gardener.
Oh, nice.
She was out here just the other day, and she said she was going to send us a picture of that, and I'm so glad you did because foxglove is phenomenal when it's in bloom.
Hey,
Foxglove.
I talked to somebody the other day who's coming out to see you today, Austin.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. My Rebecca Taylor, my doctor, my eye doctor. So she said she's coming she was singing your praises, so she's going to see you today.
All right, cool.
There you go, Becky.
Austin's got a visitor, but those foxglove are stunning, Shirley.
Yes.
Beautiful. And final photo is from Kelly.
Kelly.
Drum roll.
And yes, so Kelly planted these David Austin roses that she purchased from Bates last year. They're being container grown, so she did not put them in the ground. And my gosh, I've killed so many roses. I wish mine looked like this.
This is phenomenal.
How many petals are on those blooms?
Oh, the petal count is like 80.
I'm blown away by that.
Off
That
the
is
scale.
gorgeous.
It's just as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Kelly, you're
Good
awesome.
work.
Great
You
job.
are. And Colin, I'm so sorry. My bad. We had so many photos that I was excited about. I did not get your photos sent to Tyler in a timely manner, but we will get to them. No, I've
Great.
let
Colin down.
No, I don't want to let Colin down.
Cole, I saw you out here the other day buying stuff again.
Colin, you're great. And Colin did say on our YouTube channel, RIP to your JBs, Austin. That's rough.
Okay. Thank you for the 4. But hey, be happy with the 7. I've got the 7. They're all in the same hole. That's
right.
It's going to be great, Cole.
I do not trust in Justin.
It's going to be a whole lot easier to cover them
It's
when it
not
gets
a
really cold.
boxwood. It's not a boxwood half full situation. It's a boxwood half empty.
Great.
All right,
be fine.
let's go ahead and get to some more questions.
Okay.
What can I plant on the side of the house with little to no sun, but has irrigation? That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, if you have irrigation and it stays kind of moist and shady, a steel bee is a really good plant to use.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Maybe Itea.
Maybe Itea as a shrub if you want that great fall color, great bloomer, easy plant to grow.
Moss.
Yeah, moss
Really?
it probably will grow if you just don't
Yes.
do anything.
Right.
Even some ferns can take that. Now, don't keep ferns too wet around here if it's not like well drained. Ferns like moist, but it's got to be like well drained moist. Okay, so do that. But yeah, a shady kind of wet spot's a little bit tricky for us. But like I said, a steel bee, Itea, those are some good ones to use.
I love a still bee. And we've got some in from, we don't have them anymore. They sold out. So zipping it. Recommendations to get rid of Chinese privet. Oh, I have it pop up everywhere when we were
Dig
talking about
it
that.
out. Grubbing
I have
hoe.
been fighting it for 15 years. You don't get rid of it.
You really don't. I hate to say it, but it is so hard once you've got it or you've got one shrub. I mean, you can cut it to the dirt. What you gonna do?
Dig it up,
Pop it
try
right back
it
up.
still comes right up over here.
Well,
Still
you know,
does.
It's such a prolific seed producer.
Yeah.
The real issue. Plus, it gives you that little rhizomatic action also, where that it's not really. It's a very determined plant.
Yeah.
So it takes a very determined effort that goes on for years and years and years to ever get rid of it.
Margaret, your Japanese maples will be fine against the cicada onslaught. It's only 2.5 years old. Now, don't worry about it, Margaret.
Yeah, and here's what's going to happen. And I talked about it in my newsletter just a little bit. The stems that are about the size of a number 2 pencil are the ones that are really the prime target. Any tree that has them, they're going to lay eggs on those. And if they are a little on the smaller side, when those eggs grow, they weaken the stem. That branch can do what we call flagging.
Yeah.
It can just snap off because it has been weakened at that spot. You just simply throw it away, that stem, let it keep growing out. You know, by next year, you'll never know it even happened.
It'll be fine.
You know, you could put netting and all that. I don't know that it's worth all the effort.
I don't think so.
No.
I just think, you know, you just kind of go, hey, this is part of nature.
Caroline, I'm not
Yeah.
sure what Nina's asking there. Do you see it's a Wally tea tree, a good idea in mid-Tennessee?
I'm not sure.
Wally?
On the YouTube page?
Yep, a WOLLY tea tree, a good idea for Middle Tennessee
Who
with a
knows what
question
that
mark.
tree is?
Wally T. Tree? Ain't never heard of that. I ain't never
All right,
heard of that.
we'll
What
do a
does that
little bit
mean?
of research and we'll maybe talk about it next week. How about, do I need to fertilize my limelights more than once? Hollytone made them explode.
I wouldn't waste your money. Use your fertilizer elsewhere. Limelights are growing machines, and if it's already growing and it's exploding, then you've done good. I don't think you need any more. I mean, really, they're growing machines.
I've got Annabelle's at my house. Now, perhaps Renee has fertilized them. I never have. They're, you know, once they become established,
Right.
they're almost an autopilot. Trim them once a year.
Yeah,
Boom,
exactly.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's all you got to do. Why do so many of the crepe myrtles around town die and restart from the base this year?
Gets cold.
Because 0 degrees and negatives
Yes.
that we had over the winter.
Has
y'all.
that
It's-
effect on boxwoods as well? doesn't it?
Thanks, David. Thanks. But crepe myrtle definitely. I mean, and, you know, it's my Justin Brower's in the front, like what y'all saw, death and destruction, and it was awful. Right behind him is like a 15 to 18 foot crepe myrtle that's leafing out from all the sticks. You know, it was right next to him.
Yes.
So I hate to say it, but it just happens. Some do, some don't, and there was a number of them that did this year. So if it happened to you, they're not leafing out from the sticks. Cut back those stems. Let the new stuff flush. It will be a tree again.
That's how mine's coming back. Death and destruction. You're a little bit dramatic.
Always.
How about suggestions on what to plant around a large sinkhole?
Well, don't get too close. First off.
You might
Fence.
fall in.
Yes.
A fence. Plant a fence. Josh, that's perfect.
Seriously, folks. I mean, around here, that's a natural drainage area. So I mean, you're gonna
whatever you plant something that gets like dense and like makes people not want to go to that sinkhole. I would assume.
Bodock trees. I mean, come on, put them around there. You don't want a kid or an animal or something falling into that.
I mean,
hole.
as a younger guy, I was an avid spelunker.
I know.
And the sinkholes are where
That's
the
the
water
way.
intrudes into the ground to be able to make the limestone melt away and creates these caverns, which are wonderful.
Try them in Florida.
Yeah. So anyway,
I'd
I'd plant stuff all the way around it where it's so thick that
you can't
can't
see
fall
it.
into it.
You can't fall in. Also, this comes from Jay, who asked a question a little earlier. How do I get rid of Carolina creeper vines and wild violet? Wild violet, I just pull that. I take my shovel, I go in there, and I pull it up.
You gotta dig it.
Wait for warm weather. It'll just it'll
Gotta dig
It'll
it
go
up.
away itself. Yeah, it'll come back. But the vines can be a little tricky too because a lot of times they have
really tough to get rid of.
Yeah.
Yeah, their root systems are extensive, and pulling them up is one thing. You can get rid of them for a little while. They're probably coming back. Honestly, y'all, it's a constant battle. It's a constant battle with humans and nature.
We just gave up in our yard. I've got a lot of wild strawberries and violets, and we just stopped using herbicide altogether several years ago. We just mow it, and you know what? When the weather gets hot, they
goes away.
diminish and the grass comes up, and it's okay.
Because
you know?
even with some of the potions, it's going to come back next spring.
Comes back. That's
Yeah.
the
I
thing.
mean, every year.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I just pull them up out of my beds. What is your solution for slugs? My little honeysuckle is gone overnight. We've got Sluggo.
we
That's
do.
one.
You know
Beer.
what I found out yesterday?
No, you're not going to talk about it.
I am going to talk about it. You know what? I'm
Okay.
bringing it up.
Oh,
All right.
Austin's
I have chickens.
aggravated.
chickens.
Chickens love Sluggo. Oh my God, I came home last night to destruction of my petunias. I put Sluggo around all my petunias because slugs love petunias. I was starting to see damage. Shook around the Sluggo, put it all out, took all the time to do it. Come home last night. Chickens pecked and scratched all my petunias and ate all the Sluggo. I told my wife I was going to kill all of our chickens last night. I was
Have a
furious.
big dinner, though.
Are you going to be eating those eggs?
I'm going to be eating those chickens, David.
I'd let them age a little.
Austin, are you okay?
No, I'm annoyed.
I would give
Some-
them.
Petunias and his boxwoods are messed with.
It's conspiring against you. Austin.
Seriously,
Y'all,
nature.
He has a
I think
photo
it was
of
the
it.
chickens that got
and
the boxwoods too. Forget about this cold weather. They're out there.
Oh my God! I told Caroline earlier this morning I need a new segment that's just Austin's annoyed.
But y'all, he's got a photo of it. His petunias look so sad.
Thanks.
Some of them, they do. Some of them are just flattened.
But the chickens look great.
Yes.
There's the upside.
Austin's gonna need a
The chickens are slug free. Right? I'm real happy about that. Thanks, everybody.
It'll be okay. They'll flush back out. Just give them a little prune.
The chickens.
No, those chickens,
chickens are plenty
those chickens
flushed.
will not be okay.
I hope that Sluggo kills them. Sorry, that's not true. I love the chicken.
You do. Your chickens are cute.
just salty
How
about
can
it.
you not love them?
Salty cracker.
Yeah, Pete is going to be all over us next week.
So, slug solutions then, other than Sluggo.
We talk about beer. Beer in little caps.
Well,
They'll
that ain't
go
happening
into
in
it and
Austin's
drown.
house. He will not
Don't
waste
waste it.
Austin's, y'all, he's not okay. We're ending on this
Oh,
note.
gosh.
I shouldn't have brought that question up.
Come out here and hug me today, people.
Come out and give Austin a hug. Smell some roses.
He needs
Hugging
it.
Austin.
You know what? It's a difficult spot to be in, and we
Yes.
appreciate you being here
Yes.
and struggling through it. You know what? Because not everything in the garden is always easy, but it's always a fun adventure ultimately. So,
But if you haven't learned anything today, you know that chickens love Sluggo. So,
if you've got
that's
chickens,
the kind of information.
we're just saying you don't. They don't tell you that on the package either.
No.
it doesn't say don't use where your
Around chickens are.
pecking around.
Raccoons like it too.
Yep, they
great.
do.
Yeah.
All righty, folks. Music means we've got to get out of here. But hey, come out here to Bates Nursery and Garden Center. Got all the color, got all the green, got all everything. You got pots, pans, everything out here. Pans for underneath the bottom. Yeah, you got those too.
We got some stuff.
Got trees, you got ground covers, you got everything, and it's worth the drive from anywhere. Hey, next Saturday morning, we're going to come back and do another hour of Gardening Inside Out right here from the Green Room Studio. See you next week.
I need a hug.